on Hawaiian punch. Oh, you like all this gush? Oh no, you can't get enough. Sipping on Hawaiian punch.
Hey, my name is Adeline Warren, and you're listening to Girl Talk. I like to say that I'm the big sister of the internet. You can watch me fuck up all you want, but hey, maybe we can learn something from it. I hope you enjoy. Do you wanna dance, baby? I don't even know the words. I just have this TikTok song stuck in my head. But hey, bitch, welcome back. How was your day? I hope that your day was amazing. I woke up on the right side of the bed. I woke up super early today. I did my workout. I'm wearing this like cute little pink romper. I have my hair all curled and my makeup's all done. Like I have a cute little space, but like I'm feeling cute today. And the reason, like, I wanted to do a podcast today because I just felt so feminine and I felt so cute. And I wanted to talk about one subject that's actually been so near and dear to my heart and something that I've learned this past year. And it's so important to me that I even have it tattooed on my body. And it's divine femininity. Nobody talks about this, and it has been a burden, or not like a burden, but like a hurdle that I've had my whole life, and nobody has ever told me what feminine energy is, what masculine energy is, how that can affect you and your self-care, how can that affect your relationships. And it has affected my relationships my whole life until maybe just this year when I started like learning about it, reading books about it, reading articles about it, like seeing TikToks about it. Divine feminine energy. I only have like little like flowers and butterflies and like boobity bop. Like I only have little drawings for tattoos on my body. The only 2 word tattoos that I have is one, mahal kita, which is I love you in Tagalog. And the other one is divine feminine energy. And when I got that tattoo, everyone was like, Adeline, why did you get that tattoo? Like, is it for like Mac Miller? Because Mac Miller's album is called, I think, The Divine Feminine. And Doja Cat has a song and it's like, Divine Feminine, I'm feminine, you know? So people are like, why did you get Divine Feminine tattooed on your body? Because nobody talks about it. And it's because it honestly changed me, my self-care, my relationships, and I've struggled with it my whole life until just this year, and it honestly just means a lot to me, and I just love it, and I love learning about it. I love reading books about it. I'm like a newbie to it. I just started learning about it this year. So listen to this. I'm so excited. This is like, I feel, you know, when you have been doing your research on something like zodiac signs and like, you just want to tell your friends, you're like, oh my God, this is what I learned. This is what I feel like. But okay, what is feminine energy versus masculine energy? This is the easiest way that I can explain it and the easiest way that I learned about it. So this is it, okay? So masculine energy is very logical thought. They think with their mind, decisive action, they're risk-taking, achieving, controlling, competitive, intellectual, and giving. This is all masculine energy. Now, on the opposite end, there is feminine energy, which is intuitive feeling, senses, creativity, nurturing, experiencing, being, collaborative, expressive, and receiving. Now, don't get your panties in a bunch, okay? Don't be getting your panties in a bunch because I'm not saying, oh, don't be logical, act like a dumb bitch, like blah, blah, blah. That's the only way you get a man. No. You're allowed to have both masculine and feminine energy, but I think with just my job, the way that I grew up, the men that I've been talking to, like I was so out of balance with my masculine versus feminine energy. Like, do you guys even remember? I went to a psychic. Do you remember that? I went to a psychic. She's one of the most popular psychics on YouTube. And she said that I have a lot of masculine energy. And I was like, what? And she's like, oh, I think who knows if she was right, but she's like, I feel like you surround yourself with a lot of masculine people. And it's right. I surround myself with a lot of masculine people who are very work-oriented, which is totally fine. But now I feel like I'm surrounding myself with more feminine energy. I'm more accepting of my feminine energy. And I just feel kind of more taken care of and just more feminine. I feel more free. And like I used to be so stressed and like it's hard to explain, but I felt very masculine my whole life. And like, you know, you could put on all of the lashes, have all of the titties, have all of the boobs and the butts and the hair, the like everything, all the makeup and everything, but that doesn't make you feminine. Feminine isn't what you look like. It's just your aura and the way that you talk and the way that you carry yourself. So yeah, I think, let me give you an example actually, just so that you can kind of understand, because this is just like me reflecting on myself. So listen to this. One time I went on a date with a guy. This is a real story. I went on a date with a guy, and the first date that we went on, he got me flowers. And what is that? That's masculine energy. Masculine energy is giving. And what would someone with feminine energy do? They would be like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is so sweet. This honestly made my day. This is really sweet of you. I can't believe that you took the time out of your day to think about this. Like, it means a lot that you thought about this and you took the time out of your day and you got me flowers. And what did I do? What the fuck did Adeline do? I am a dumbass. Oh my God, I could literally cringe right now. Oh, like, you know, when you think about the times that you flirted and you're like, oh, ew, oh my God, Adeline, why did you do that? But I literally was like, oh my God, you're doing too much. You're crazy. Why would you get that on the first date? You're so in love with me. Like, blah, 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 blah. Kind of making fun of him and not being in my feminine energy at all. Not receiving, not making him feel good about, you know, getting me flowers. I kind of like was making fun of him, which is, now that I think about it, I can't believe I did that. That was so fucking rude. Why did I do that? But I think it applies with like all aspects of relationship. I feel like back in the day, it was so hard for me to receive because I was so in my masculine energy, like with gifts, with dates, like planning a date, with just like all aspects of the relationship. I wasn't very receiving of it, which is why I kind of pushed those masculine men away, and why I kind of started attracting more feminine / beta men. Fuck. Oh my God. I wish someone told me this. Like, I have done all the research on the zodiac signs. Everybody knows about, you know, the dating do's and don'ts, but nobody tells you about masculine versus feminine energy. My whole life, the way that I flirted with men, I could literally cringe. I hate this so much. But the way that I flirted with men was very like, I would make fun of them. Like, I was kind of one of the boys. Like, I was very chill. Like, think of a pick-me. I wouldn't say that I was a pick-me, but I was very much like a masculine flirter. I would make fun of you. I would like push the limits, push the boundaries, like very competitive. This is all very masculine energy, whereas I feel like very feminine flirting is very creative, very expressive, very receiving, and just living in the present moment is very feminine as well. And again, don't be getting your panties in a bunch. One thing that I've been kind of like focusing on is having that balance of masculine versus feminine energy. So when I do have my masculine energy, it's in like my work, making sure that I get paid the right amount. You know, negotiating, that's very competitive, very logical. I'm thinking like, how am I going to set myself up for the future? Like my money, like I'm very masculine in my job and then very feminine in my relationships and my friendships and the way that I carry myself, like in my own personal time. So divine feminine energy, these are 10 things that I wrote down that can kind of maybe like enhance your feminine energy and help bring it out, because I wish someone told me this sooner. So number 1, I put the divine feminine energy. She feels like she's a queen and she attracts anything that she desires easily. So what does this mean? Okay, think of this. Okay. Do you know how they always have like on TikTok, those girls, and they have like these boyfriends and they give them like $20,000 a month, and like you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? Like how are they getting this? Like, oh my God, like life isn't fair. Like, oh my God, I want a man that gives me like $20,000 a month. Like what? So a queen feels like she attracts anything that she desires easily. So this is kind of like manifesting, like putting on a vision board. What do you want in a man? Do you want a man that's very giving? They pay attention to your love languages. They do this. And then in another column, write down, how am I going to become the woman that man needs and wants and attracts? How am I going to be that woman that easily goes into this man's life? And every man secretly wants a woman that's very feminine and can bring out his masculine side, because you could bring it out. You could bring it out in a man. And don't be, I'm not saying like, oh, you could change a man. No, to a certain extent. But if I feel like with the people that I've dated, their masculine energy brings out my feminine energy, and my feminine energy can bring out their masculine energy. And this is kind of this is kind of like weird when you're dating girls. Like, I don't really know how to explain it when you're dating girls, but this is how I think when I'm dating guys. Okay. But she feels like a queen and attracts anything that she desires easily. What is the man that you want? Is he masculine? Does he do this? What does he do for a living? Blah, 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 blah. And then in another column, I would write down, what kind of woman does he want? What kind of woman flows into that life easily, and how can you become more so like that? I'm not saying like kitty your life to a man, because we're not doing that. But attracting a man that you think of is quality, and a man that is very masculine and very giving, and makes you feel like a queen. It makes you feel like feminine. And then number 2, I put, has the ability to truly open up to her romantic partner. She creates polarity within the relationship, which means feminine energy pushes your partner to be in their masculine energy, which creates polarity. So feminine energy is very open and honest and talks about their feelings, whereas I feel like men or masculine energy tends to talk more so solving problems. So having your feminine energy and being able to open up and talk about your feelings and how you feel can push your man to feel and just feel more masculine and feel good. And then I put number 3, she feels light, flowy, happy, naturally seductive, and has a glow around her. I love this one because when I think of feminine energy, this is what I think. You know what I kind of think of? I kind of think of like Audrey Hepburn. Like, there's many types of, I mean, I guess this is a different like topic, but seducers, and Audrey Hepburn, I think, is like there's a lot of different seduction types. There's the lover, which is the siren, the sage, which is the sophisticate and the boss. There's the huntress, which is bohemian and the coquette. There's a mystic, which is the goddess and enigma. There's the queen, which is the diva, Beyonce, and the empress. And there's the mother, the sensualist and the lady. The maiden, which is the intrigue and the gaming. I may be saying all of these wrong, but there's many different types of seduction archetypes, which is, that could be a whole different podcast. It's just different types of seduction techniques and what kind of seducer you are. But to me, when I think of feminine energy, I think of like Audrey Hepburn. I think of like very happy, very flowy, very go with the flow, very just like a girl in her fucking like flowy dress, prancing around in the fucking flowers, and just being happy. That's what I think of when I think of feminine energy. And then I put number 4, she's in tune with her body and intuition, allowing her to easily make decisions, embrace her authentic self confidently, and eliminate people/places that are not meant for her. So one example of this is, I always feel like your body knows something before your mind and your head does. Don't we all think that? Like, I swear with some certain relationships, my body like didn't feel like having sex, like didn't feel attracted, like blah, 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 blah. But in my head, I was like, why am I feeling like this? Like, why am I feeling like I don't want to have sex? Why am I doing like this? And then it turns out they were treating me like shit. And I was just like, it was all, you know, when you're in the relationship, you can't see anything. It's all foggy. Like you have the rose colored glasses on. You think everything is fine. But when in reality, they're not treating you right at all. Your body knows way before your head knows. And that's very feminine, to be feeling things in your body. People even say that you should take like a dance class to be kind of in your feminine energy, to be able to flow and to be able to move your hips. Like that's very feminine. Okay, number 5. I put having a balance of feminine and masculine energy. Do not abandon your masculine energy. Men and women have a balance of both. Masculine is trying to take action and solving a problem. So that could be for work. We kind of talked about this. Having masculine energy for work, whether that's like taking action, telling people what to do, solving a problem, beep-boop-bop. This is all things that you could be doing during work. And then in your personal life, with your relationships, with your friendships, very receiving, very flowy, very feeling in your body, very attractive, attracts anything she wants and desires very easily, that type of thing. And then number 6, I put stressing over a problem before it happens. We all do this. And it's the worst fucking thing ever. But I felt like this was the thing that was also really keeping me in my masculine energy, was stressing over a problem before it even happens. And it's not good masculine energy. It's anxious masculine energy. Masculine is trying to take action and solving a problem. Thoughts create a reality, and what you believe, you subconsciously attract. So write it on paper. Whatever you're worrying about, whatever you think, oh, this might happen, I'm kind of worried about it, blah, 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 write it on a paper. Feminine is being in your body and feeling the thought and thinking it out and just feeling it. So before anything happens, the thing that you're stressing about, write it down, feel it. Just know that it probably like 90% of the time isn't even going to happen. And just feel it in your body, feel it in the paper. Like whenever I journal, I feel so much better. Like something about journaling, like it's not in my head anymore. Now it's on a piece of paper. I don't have to think about it anymore. Journaling is like so therapeutic for me. Number 7, I put very present, not focusing on the future and in the present moment. We all struggle with this because we're always on our phones. We're always on a Google Calendar thinking about, oh, what are we doing next week? Let's do this, blah, blah, blah. This is next week. This is next month. This is blah, blah, blah. Let's plan for this, like blah, blah, blah. Even with social media, it's so hard to be in the present moment. I find like I could be like scrolling on TikTok and like be in my own fantasy magical world and not be living in the present moment. Feminine energy is very living in the present moment. You could tell like with men, they're very masculine. They're always like planning. They're very thinking about the future, very work oriented. And something that I found being in my feminine energy is just reminding them to live in the present moment. Get the fuck off of your phone. Let's fucking do something. Like, let's get out of the house. Like, let's live in the moment. Let's make memories together. Like, not always be like planning and on your phone, and like having that balance of masculine versus feminine energy. Number 8, I put accepts compliments. Stop denying compliments. I used to do this all of the time. Stop denying compliments. If you don't see the value in yourself to receive that compliment, what will happen when your dream partner or opportunity comes in your life? You're not going to magically be like, oh yeah, actually, yeah, I deserve that. No, it's never going to be like that. When someone used to compliment me, again, I was super in my masculine energy. I didn't know how to take compliments. And I even remember telling other people like, oh my God, I'm so bad at taking compliments. Stop that. That is so masculine energy. One thing to enhance your feminine energy is by accepting compliments. And you may not think that it's that big of a deal when you're doing it in the moment, but it actually is. Like, your body doesn't know the difference between, you know, you joking versus you not joking. What you say, your body really feels it. So when someone is like, bitch, you look so good today, you can't just be like, bitch, stop it. No, I just woke up this morning. Like, my hair is so messy. Are you kidding me? Like, why would you compliment me? My hair is so messy. My eyebrows are all whack. Like, bitch, come on. I don't look good. Also, I hate complimenting people and they be doing that. I'm like, bitch, just take the fucking compliment. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I don't have to remind you how good you fucking look. Like, I want to tell you one time and then you fucking accept it. So being in your feminine energy would be kind of like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, honestly, like, that made my whole day. You made me feel really happy. Like, thank you so much. I really appreciate that compliment. And like, it means a lot. That's feminine. I wish that I fucking changed this about myself earlier, because, even just like girls complimenting me, I would always be like, oh no, like stop it, like you're so beautiful, like how, like I wish that I was more like you, like blah blah blah. Like first of all, one person's beauty is not the absence of your own. So just because someone is beautiful doesn't make you any less beautiful. You're beautiful in your own way. This is very cheesy, but I just needed to add it. But accepting compliments is also, it just feels good. And it feels good to, like, I'm not saying don't compliment other girls. Like, obviously, if someone's like, oh my God, I love your outfit, I'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much. It means the world. Like, your outfit is also slaying too. Like, that's also very feminine. But stop denying compliments for your feminine energy, just for your confidence, like for your body. Once I stopped doing this, I started feeling so much better about myself, and I started feeling way more confident about myself. So stop doing that. If you're going to do anything or take away anything from this video, I think it would be this. But yeah. Okay, I put number 9, dance. And I kind of talked about this feeling in your body. I love dancing, and honestly, when I dance, I just feel super happy. And even if you're kind of bad at it, like you kind of make fun of yourself and like just move your body. Moving your body is very feminine. And feeling in your body is very feminine, which leads us to the next one, which is the way that you dress. And I'm not saying you have to wear pink and you have to wear a dress and you have to be boopity bop. Like, that doesn't mean feminine. I feel like we grow up like having this ideal of like Barbie and like wearing skirts and wearing dresses and wearing pink and like be boopity bop and like having curly hair and like having long hair. And that doesn't mean feminine energy. Feminine energy is different for every single person and what it could look like for every single person. Feminine energy is just something that you feel confident and comfortable in your body in. And that can mean like a long flowy dress. It could mean jeans. It could mean having your hair down. It could mean having your hair up. It could mean having a shaved head. It could mean anything that you want it to. Feminine energy is just feeling your body and feeling what feels good and just doing it. Like knowing what feels good in your body and just fucking doing it. Wearing it, feeling it, dancing it, moving it. That's all what feminine energy is. And then I put kind of like a bonus number 11 tip is having female friends. Having female friends and like having like a safe space to be girly and talk about fun little things like outfits and hair and makeup. You bring out your feminine energy within each other. And I find that a lot of girls who don't have a lot of female friends, they tend to be very masculine. You think of the bruh girl or like the pick me girl who they're like, oh, I'm not friends with girls because like girls are too much drama. Hell no. I don't fuck with girls like that. They're so damaged. They're so like masculine. I mean, I was like that. Now in the state that I am, I'm like, I can't fuck with people that are like that. I can't fuck with pick me girls. I can't fuck with girls that have damaged feminine energy, whatever it is. Like, I'm not your therapist. I can't fix you. Like, girl, fucking fix yourself. Like, I don't know. I do have sympathy for girls like that, but like, I feel like there's so many resources out there that you can learn, and like there's a lot of like therapy TikToks and there's a lot of like healing TikToks. Like the resources are out there. Girl, heal yourself. And I feel like I've done podcast episodes on pick me girls, and I think the reason why I have so much hatred with them is because I feel like at one point I had those qualities within myself, and society kind of like teaches you, oh, be the cool girl that like, oh, I just drink a beer and I don't care if you're messy and I'm super chill, like I never fight, like you could take advantage of me and have sex with me, never make me come, like blah 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 blah. I have no boundaries and I'm not friends with other women because they're all drama, like blah 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 blah. That's the pick me girl. And healed and empowered feminine energy, you're allowed to have other female friends, and you allow yourself to attract other female friends and have that like safe space of just feminine energy, and you bring out the feminine energy within each other. I don't know. Having female friends is honestly just really important to me because there was a point in my life where my only friend was like my boyfriend, and I was very sad. I depended on him for all my happiness. I was very codependent, and he was very codependent to me. And it was just like a very unhealthy, unbalanced, masculine versus feminine energy relationship. And I never want to be like that again. And I really hope that these tips help you guys with finding your feminine energy and finding that masculine person if you want to attract that kind of masculine person. But yeah, I took a screenshot from this one TikTok. What's her name? Iris Daily, and she has feminine energy. What is empowered divine feminine energy versus wounded divine feminine energy? So I'm talking about like girls who are feminine and they're just like truly authentically themselves versus the pick me girl. They're very protective, they're very judgy, they're very like negative. So what is this? Empowered feminine energy is authentic versus wounded feminine energy is inauthentic and conformist. Empowered is empathetic but with boundaries. Wounded is empathetic without boundaries. So letting people walk all over them, letting people take advantage of them, because you can be empathetic, but you can set boundaries and not let people walk all over you. So say, for example, your friend loves talking about boys, and they could talk about boys all day, all night. And like, as much as you want to be a good friend and you want to listen to them, like, bitch, I have fucking work. So being there for your friend and listening to your friend say, hey, you know what? I love listening to you. I love talking to you. But from like 9 to 5, it's my work. You can't be calling me during my work. Okay. But after 6 p.m., girl, I'm all ears. Let's talk about it. But I cannot be your therapist 24/7. That's kind of like a feminine female friendship, but setting boundaries and being empathetic. Empowered is very powerful, whereas wounded is very powerless and people-pleasing and kind of like misogynistic in the sense that you feel like you constantly, like you need to impress men in order to feel valid. Empowered is very intuitive, whereas wounded is very codependent. Empowered is very independent, and again, wounded is very codependent. Some more examples of wounded is like insecure, reactive, manipulative, needy, sexually restricted, and suppressed. And more examples of empowered is independent, receiving, playful, secure, expresses freely, sensual, sexually free, and creative. So some examples that I could think of, like the cool girl or the pick me girl, is, you know, sex. As much as we like kind of try to ignore it as a society, sex is super important in a relationship. And I feel like if you're having trouble with the sex in your relationship, you're having trouble with other things in your relationship. You never just have trouble with sex. And what I mean by that is, say, for example, this is something that's so common and I wish wasn't so fucking common. And I wish that every single person listening to this podcast can take away from this, is girls not coming during sex. That is not normal. That is not normal. That is not healthy for your relationship. And it doesn't make anyone feel good. You don't feel good. The guy doesn't feel good because he kind of thinks that he made you come, but like you probably didn't. And like the communication is just awful and off in the relationship. When the communication is off with sex, the communication is off with a lot of things in the relationship. So what feminine energy and empowered divine feminine energy is: sensual and sexually free. So knowing what feels good in your body. Remember, feminine energy is feeling. So what feels good in your body, whether that's like you do some solo exploring, you have like a toy, you like figure out what you like in your body and communicating that to your partner. So being like, hey, like, it could be during sex or before or whatever, or after. No, probably before or during, not after. But being like, hey, like, I really like when you start very slow and you gradually get a little bit faster. Like, that's like what works for me. Or I like when you focus more on my clit area. Because did you know that I think it was like 70% of women only come from their clit? What? Only come from clitoral stimulation, and they don't come from vaginal stimulation. Are you serious? That's over 50%. And I bet no man that you're hooking up with is paying attention to your clit as much as he should be. So expressing and communicating your feelings and what feels good for you, that is very feminine energy. Another one of my favorites that I was talking about is playful. I feel like I used to be so like aggressive and competitive in my relationships, like in the sense that when I flirt, I would kind of create competitions like, oh my God, I bet you I can fucking like race you. I mean, that is kind of playful, but in a very masculine way. I feel like being playful is very like living in the moment, like kind of like being little kids with each other. Honestly, I feel like the best relationships are when you could just be little kids with each other and you could be silly and you could be goofy and nothing has to be so serious, like fighting all the time, nagging all the time. That's like playful, childish relationships or relationships that bring out your inner child, I feel like are my favorite types of relationships. And a way that I feel like I've activated that in my relationships is by bringing out my feminine energy, which is why I love it so much. And like, I feel like there's some points of this podcast where I feel like I could have explained things a little bit better, but it is something that I'm kind of like new with and I'm still learning about. I'm not truly like 100% confident in it, but I just wanted to talk about it because I don't know, it just like, it means so much to me. I have it fucking tattooed, bitch. Like I love this shit. And if you have any questions or like anything else that you guys want to add, like fucking tweet me, Instagram, tag me. I'm most likely to see it on my spam account, Adeline, not Adeline on Instagram. I always look at the DMs there. But yeah, I just love it. I also took some screenshots of this TikToker that I really love. Her name is Alexis, AWWLEXIS. She's just like a divine feminine energy coach, and I like took screenshots of it because I wanted to talk about it. And one of the things that she said is when you activate your feminine energy, you attract high quality friends and partners. You receive career and financial opportunities easily. You shift into a state of happiness, fulfillment, and abundance, and you unlock creative and exciting ideas and opportunities. Because feminine energy is very feeling, very creative, but I love her TikToks. If you want to learn anything about divine feminine energy, I follow her and she's like so fucking amazing. But yeah, that's like what I have for my little list. Divine feminine, I am feminine. I hope that you guys enjoyed this podcast. It was kind of short because I know a little bit about the subject. I wish I knew a little bit more. And I would love to do a part 2 when I do learn a little bit more. I feel like I'm constantly like reading new books and learning more about it. And like even with my experiences and like dating, it has helped my dating life so fucking much. I told you what my main thing that I wanted you to take away was. It was just like being able to accept compliments, but I think it's also just receiving. One thing that I have been working on the past like year or so is just being able to receive, whether that's like flowers from a man, whether that's compliments from other people, whether that's things that you have been manifesting, truly deserving or truly thinking that I deserve the best and that I deserve what's coming to me, because my whole life I'm like, oh no, if I think that I'm vain, if I think that I deserve something, I'm vain. I'm full of myself if I think that. No, there's a huge difference between being confident and thinking that you deserve the best for yourself versus being vain and thinking that you deserve the best and everyone else deserves the worst. There's enough good things to happen for everyone in the entire world. You just need to be able to accept it. And it's the same with beauty. It's just because someone has this crazy boyfriend that gives them a Birkin and they're on a yacht and they're beep boopity bopping in a private jet, and like, you know, just because someone has that doesn't mean that you can't either, and that you can't accept that either. Like, there's enough people in the world like maybe you don't even want that. Maybe you don't care about the materialistic things. What if all that you care about is acts of service? And like this girl, her and her boyfriend are doing long distance, and he writes a little notebook of the 100 days that they're gone, and like you have to read a page every single day. Like, oh my God, I could literally cry. I saw a girl had that on TikTok and I was like, oh my God, that was so thoughtful. I'm literally gonna cry. That's so fucking cute. Or what if it's like you mention that you really like dumplings one day, and then randomly your partner brings dumplings to you because they remembered that one time that you said it and they wanted to make you happy. Like things like that. Like you are deserving of your love and your love language. You just need to be willing to accept it. Like for me, my top love languages are acts of service and quality time. Those are like my two top favorite ones. Even like my friend Alex is like, Adeline, bitch, your love language is so quality time. Like I swear to God, like all you want me to do is like come over and we just go on our phones all day. Like that's like literally me. I love having quality time with my friends and my partners and my family. So being able to accept like, hey, like my partner actually really likes me and they actually want to spend time with me, even if it's like, you know, doing something extravagant, like going to Disneyland, like going out to dinner, like getting dressed, like blah, 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 blah. Or what if it's something like so simple as just like coming over and having a home cooked meal and watching like a baseball game or like a hockey game or a little movie or like a Christmas movie or like a Halloween movie. Like it could be any of those things. Being in the position that you're able to accept the love that you want. And I'm going to name all of the love languages. Love languages. Should I do a podcast episode on love languages? I also love love languages. So there's 5 different types of love languages. There's words of affirmation. So complimenting, encouraging people, affirming people, empathizing with people, listening. And then there's physical touch, which could be like nonverbal. So using your body language, touching to express love, giving little forehead kisses, cuddling before bed, sitting beside someone at like a big dinner. And then number 3, they have receiving gifts. So it's thoughtfulness, make your spouse a priority, and just like receiving gifts, basically. And then there's quality time, which is uninterrupted and focused conversations. The one-on-one time is critical. And then there's acts of service, which is the action phrases like I'll help you do X and X, or I'll help you go grocery shopping, or I'll help you take out the trash, like I'll help you with things around the house. I could do a whole episode on love languages and seduction. I feel like I like touched on 2 episodes at like once, or 3 episodes at once in this podcast. But take the love language test. Just Google love language test on Google and you'll probably find one. And you'll find what you like in your partner and what love languages you like to give and what love languages you like to receive. Be in the state that you're able to receive because it's so feminine and it just feels good. And I feel like me kind of like switching over from like mostly masculine to more feminine energy has just made me feel really good. I mean, there's pros and cons to both. But I think for me personally, being in my feminine energy just feels good. And having a masculine partner has really helped me be in more of my feminine energy. And you can take this podcast with a tiny grain of salt because I barely know anything. And like, I'm just learning about it, but it's something that means so much to me and I love talking about this. Let me know what you guys think. Like, are you in your feminine energy? Are you working towards being there? Are you more in your masculine energy? Do you like your masculine energy? Do you like your feminine energy in certain parts or aspects of your life? Do you like it in your personal life, in your work life? Like, what do you think? And now we have this segment called What Would Rihanna Do? Work, 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 work. Rihanna, please don't sue me. But today we're going to be talking about all of your questions that you have. These are just like on my Instagram. If you guys ever want to be in like the What Would Rihanna Do section, then just comment on my Instagram. I mostly look at all of the questions on my Adeline not Adeline account. So make sure to check that out and make sure that you're following because it's a private account. It's just kind of like my spam. But one question, and this is anonymous. They asked, Adeline, what music do you listen to when you clean? Because I need happy motivational cleaning playlist. Okay, hear me out. But when I clean, obviously music is really good, but when I clean or I'm going on long drives, one of my favorite things to do is listen to podcasts. And the reason why I do that is because podcasts typically tend to be like 20 to like 40 minutes, right? And having that time period of being like, okay, you know what? Cleaning isn't so bad. Like, I'm just gonna clean for 40 minutes and that's it. And if I don't get it done, then whatever, I'll just do it tomorrow. And having like that time deadline or due date or deadline has really helped me with just like getting things done. And like I always look at my room and be like, fuck, this is so messy. Like, I can't clean this. Like, this is going to take hours. But if I'm like, okay, this Emma Chamberlain podcast is like 45 minutes long. I'm only going to clean for 45 minutes. Dude, I swear to God, I'll always be done at the 45-minute mark. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, when I put a podcast on, like a long YouTube video or like something to listen to, I swear it makes me clean faster. So that's what I do when I clean. The next question is, Adeline, what oils do you use on your hair? So I've been talking about this. I don't know if you guys know, but I have, what is it called? It's alopecia, but it's like the spotty one. Alopecia areata. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's basically the most prominent symptoms of alopecia areata is patchy hair loss. So coin-sized patches of hair begin to fall out mainly from the scalp, and nobody knows the reason. I went to the doctor for it, and he's like, nobody knows the reason why this happens. It could be poor diet, or could be stress. Like, it just happens. And honestly, I've been posting about it on my Not Adeline account. And so many people have been relating to it. And they're like, Adeline, okay, what oils do you use on your hair? Because my alopecia started growing back. I had this huge chunk of my hair missing. I could literally insert a photo right now. I'll send you a photo right here. But I had patches missing in my hair, and I was so stressed out about it. I was like, oh my God, like, this is so scary. Like, I love my hair. Like, I wear hair extensions. Like, I love having long hair. Like, I don't want my hair to fall out. Like, you always go to the worst extreme and you're like, oh my God, all my hair is going to fall out. What am I going to do? But what I did is I went to the doctor and I got these injections into my head, and it started growing back. And I also started watching other girls who have alopecia, and they said that they'll use castor oil in their hair. And then I got onto like the hair oil TikTok, and girls, there's like this whole community on TikTok of like girls talking about the oils that they use in their hair. So I put a mixture of 3 oils in my hair. I mostly use castor oil, and then there's sea buckthorn oil, and then rosemary oil. So what I'll do is I'll kind of like, I could do it like a little tutorial on YouTube too if you guys want. But I basically got all of those on Amazon. I just searched up castor oil, sea buckthorn oil, rosemary oil. And I have all those oils in my bathroom. And then I'll get a little jar. So I even use like a mason jar lid, because I have so many mason jars I don't use the lids. So I get a mason jar lid, because that's like the kind of perfect, like you can like scoop it up, whatever. And I'll put like, I would say 50% of the mixture, I would do mostly castor oil. And then 25% of the mixture, I would put a little bit of sea buckthorn oil. And then 25% of the mixture, I would put the rosemary oil. I could even say like 60% castor oil. Like, I put a lot of castor oil in there, and then I'll mix it all together in that little pan. And then just with my fingers, like my fingertips, I'll grab it and I'll put it into my scalp, and mostly in my hairline. And you can even put it on your actual, like the body of your hair too, but I think I mostly do like castor oil for that sort of thing, maybe a little bit of sea buckthorn oil, and I'll just leave that in for like a couple hours, and then I'll shower. And I swear, you guys, my hair, after just a few times of doing this, I've noticed a difference. And like, nobody else will probably notice the difference. Like, it's such a small difference, but I notice a difference, and my hair has been growing back, and it's just crazy the difference that it makes. And like, everyone on the hair oil TikTok, like, they swear by it, and they're always like, oh, castor oil has no scientific way of like making your hair grow faster. Bitch, it works. I don't know how it does. There's no scientific way, but it fucking works. And trust me on it. Like, it really works. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this podcast. It's kind of a long one, so that's why I wanted to just end just like the 2 questions for the what would Brianna do? I'm sorry if I felt like I was kind of all over the place with this episode, and I'm really sorry about that. I think it's just because I'm very new to learning these types of things. So like, it makes sense in my head, but it's kind of hard for me to explain it, if that makes sense. But I don't know. Being in my feminine energy is just like, honestly, like, I feel like in all of my past relationships, I'm not talking about the one public relationship that I've had, I'm talking about all of the past like relationships that I've had that were like behind the scenes, and like that I didn't post because, you know, obviously I'm like 24, I'm dating people, and I don't show it online just because it's like my personal preference, but the people that I've dated in the past, I feel like I was always the one making the plans. I was always the one paying for the dinner. Believe it or not, I would literally always pay for the dinner. And like, believe it or not, I would always like be putting in 100% of my efforts and getting these such low quality beta men. And once I shifted more into my feminine energy and I wasn't being like their mother, literally, I feel like the way that I was dating men before I shifted into my feminine energy, I felt like I was their mother. I was taking care of them. I was cleaning for them. I was giving them my all. And what did I receive in return? Maybe dick. Maybe. I was receiving such low quality men, beta men, that didn't know how to be in their masculine energy. That's why they were attracted to me, because I was so masculine and they were very in their feminine. They were very receiving. They were very just like, now looking back at it, I'm not attracted to those men at all and their energy at all. I almost feel like I'm kind of like pansexual in the way that I am very attracted to people's energies. And like, you know, everyone says that they're like, oh, I care about the personality. I care about the personality. Of course, everyone cares about their personality. But I think obviously there needs to be some sort of like physical attraction there. But what really makes me fall in love with you, it doesn't matter if you're a man, it doesn't matter if you're a woman, it doesn't matter if you're trans, it doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter anything. I could be attracted to, I feel like, literally anyone, as long as there's a little bit of physical attraction there and as long as I fall in love with your personality. I don't know. I'm kind of still like going through my little sexual adventures and like sexuality discovery. I haven't fully put my label on myself yet. But yeah, I feel like recently I've been very attracted to very masculine energy, and I love the way that masculine energy makes me feel. I feel very like taken care of. I let them pay for the meals. I let them plan the dates. I feel like I could sit back, relax, and fucking enjoy the show. And it like feels really good because I feel very masculine in my work, and I feel very like go in my work. And then when I'm finally in my personal relationships with my friends, with my relationships, with my family, I feel like I'm able to receive and I'm able to be living in the moment, because I never used to be in the moment. I used to always, you know, plan. I used to always be booty bop, whatever. But I think it just feels very natural to me, and it feels very good to me. And I feel like every man low key wants a woman that's feminine, that brings out that masculine side of them, because it's what they naturally want to be like. That men naturally want to feel masculine, and they want to have a woman that's very feminine that brings out the masculine side to them. But I just love talking about this stuff. Okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's podcast. And I guess I'll talk to you guys next week. I fucking love you. I wish you all the best on your divine feminine energy journey. I wish me the best because I'm still learning about it. If you have any questions or comments or concerns or anything like that, dude, DM me on Not Adeline on Instagram. It's like I always am on the DMs. I'm always responding to your guys' DMs. But yeah, I love you. I'll talk to you later, bitch. I fucking love you. Make sure to receive. If a man wants to give you a Birkin, fucking take that. And if you don't feel like you deserve a Birkin, then fucking take it and give it to me. Okay? I love you. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. Did you like that episode? I really hope that you did. If you haven't already, then make sure to watch last week's episode or the week after. Just click on the links, whatever it is. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. Also, be sure to subscribe because it helps me a lot. But I love you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.
Sipping on Hawaiian punch. Squeeze the sides, feel it rush. Sipping on Hawaiian punch. Know you like all this gush. Oh no, you can't get enough. Sipping on Hawaiian.